Nasdaq been overbought for more than 2 weeks. Is it time for a hefty pullback? And how is the $1,000 challenge where I try to grow $1,000 as fast as I can? Last time I was here it was $4,500. Where is it now? This you will find if you just stay tuned. You are listening to the StockInvest.us podcast, Trading Tips with Jim as we head into week 21.
Tick-tock goes the market clock. Bulls run wild, bears don't talk. Up or down, it's a coin flip game. Buy low, sell high, don't lose your grip. Stay sharp, stay fast on this trading trip. It's Trading Tips with Jim. Win or learn, never gim. Stack your knowledge to the brim. Tune in now, let's begin. It's Trading Tips with Jim. Win or learn, never grim. Stack your knowledge to the brim. Tune in now.
For the last 2 weeks I've been away. I've been very busy and had to go for unscheduled meetings. But I'm back and I will try to look into the week ahead of us. It is still Friday, markets haven't opened yet, and I can tell that the futures are negative. But if we look at Nasdaq in the long-term chart, we can see that Nasdaq been in extremely overbought territory for more than 2 weeks. It hit 87 on the RSI Relative Strength Index high, which is very, very unusual, but didn't come as a big surprise. Have given a very strong buy signals from the short and the long-term moving average called a cross, golden cross, not star but golden cross, indicating that Nasdaq will just continue upwards. But in the short term, there is a super high chance that Nasdaq will have a strong fallback. And that fallback, in my opinion, should be close to 10% from today's level. I think Nasdaq will go down to 24,000 points before continuing upwards. And I will reclaim something I've been saying for a long time. I think we are heading for the best decade ever when it comes to world economy and the market. What awaits after 10 years? Hard to say. 7-8 years. What awaits after 10 years is a different story. It's about how superpowers grow, and we can clearly see that China has taken a huge leap forward. Military force is extremely strong, and the West built their economy buying everything from China, but over the last few years this tide is slowly turning. Anyway, I personally, as I said, see 10 years of extremely nice growth, meaning that I believe stock markets will be very good for the next decade. But as always, there will be up and down. There will be small ones, there will be bigger ones. I think that the correction that will come for Nasdaq, because if you look at the chart, and I will post it on the YouTube video for everyone watching the video will see the chart, the upturn is too strong in my sense. As you know, I bought when it fell down to just over 20,000. I bought because I said it's the opportunity again. It's an opportunity. Everyone was selling and I was buying. And here comes the upturn. Lately I have been reducing my positions because we are way too high, in my opinion, in the short-term picture. But I've seen this before. Markets can continue. There is no reason why Nasdaq shouldn't just go straight to 30,000 before taking a break. That may very well happen. Nobody knows exactly how things will play out. But to me, risk is high. Relative Strength Index is cooling, but still overbought, and it just breaks lightly up of the rising trend, but this has to be confirmed by more than 3%. Still hasn't, which means that most likely it is hitting the top trend and will go a little down and then sideways. As I stated very early on, I think the correction will be around 10%, somewhere around 24,000. I think it will find. I'm not sure exactly how it will play out, if it will be just a brutal fall or it will be a slow period, because also this is hard to say. My intuition says that we will have some deep falls, but in general the downturn will not be very fast, and it may go a little out until summer before markets really pick up speed again. And at that time, I believe also oil will be at very low levels. Currently, oil is sitting at $99, still very, very high. But I believe, and I said this before, by end of summer, I think oil will be at 40. It's a bet you can hold against me. I've been saying many of these bets over all these years. I said when inflation was super low that it will go high, interest rates will go high, all of this. Was very lucky with these hits. And last time I said oil would go sky high. It went sky high after being at $20. That was back when I bought a lot of oil shares. Now I believe oil is way too high. The reasons are there, of course, with the Hormuz Strait, etc. But I think there is so many things happening, and I cannot see this drag out. So for me, oil should fall, meaning that I'm investing currently into companies that will benefit from oil going down. Oil transport, of course, has been that for a long time. Anything has to do with transport, and as I said, I believe the economy will be very good. So shipping, container lines, all of these things, I think they will do just very, very good over years to come still, even despite having two super years behind them. Gold is struggling. Was above 5,005 maybe high, and now 4,500. As I said, I believe gold is way too high now. I think it will cool down, and my guess is that it will go down to 3,500, around where I might re-enter gold again. I cannot see why gold should be so high, because in my opinion most is hyped in the media when it comes to the scare of all these things. I see Ukraine conflict coming to an end. I've been wrong about this one before. I thought it would come to an end earlier, but I think it will come to an end. And I think the same thing around Iran also will come to an end. The bigger question then, if you were interested in this geopolitical thing, is what will happen next? Well, Russia will most likely rearm. China will continue to build up their armory, and the rest of the world is doing the same thing, meaning that weapon industry, of course, will pay huge dividends in the years to come. Right now they are producing day and night 24/7, and that generates money, and this money will be paid back to investors. So if you're looking for dividend stocks, I would absolutely recommend war stocks. Some of the stock prices has already been adjusted for the expected growth, so maybe there is not too much money to make on the stock price itself, but dividends should be very good. An alternative is, of course, find all the new producers, because over these last few years war has changed into a drone war, and you can go to Turkish fabricators of drone, and there is a lot of others, but components is always something to look out for. Some of the biggest bets under the war was producers of tin can, etc., and producers of components into the bigger military things. And anyone who invested back then made millions and millions. Still room for the same thing today. Anyway, 10-year Treasury yield is going up. It's 4.46. This worries me a lot, because usually when it goes up, markets go down, and it's part of the reason why I think market will have a natural correction downwards. If you look at the buy and the sell signals that Stock Invest issues, we can say that across all tickers that we analyze, more than 70,000, 32% is giving buy signals. It is as high as when we go back to week 7 and 8, but it's not in overbought territory at all. It's somewhat normal distribution. It's not low like when week 12, when it was 14 when I bought, because it was obviously way too low. Going to Nasdaq, we see Nasdaq is 18, and Nasdaq is the lowest of all the exchanges. It just means that at Nasdaq there is still several companies with good upside. You can look at many of the companies and you will see they haven't benefited. Most likely you sit in quite many stocks that hasn't seen the rally that other stocks have. Index have been mainly pushed by the big techs, like Nvidia is pushing above $230. Get back to Nvidia in a little bit. New York Stock Exchange 27% buy signals, London 32% buy signals, Oslo 26% buy signals, Frankfurt 42%, and that is on the very upper end. National Stock Exchange 33%, Tokyo 21%, and just China 24%. I'll do a short recap of what this means. Imagine that there is 100% of signals. If there is 100% sell signals, everyone is super pessimistic. It can only go one way, and that will turn to buy the next. But the world doesn't work that. It's very seldom we get to 100% buy signals, so you start to look where is market too negative, or opposite, where is market too positive. Usually when there is balance, it's 30, 30, 30, it's 30, 33, 33, 33, meaning it's 33% buy signals, 33% hold signals, 33% sell signals. Market is in total balance. If buy signals starts to get up to let's say 40ish, it starts to become very high, and every time it's been up around 45, 47, market is taking a dump. I've been betting on this every time, been correct every single time. When market is only at, let's say, 8-9% buy signals, is way too low. Market is over pessimistic. Easy to read. This is the most easiest, simplest way to understand how the market is doing. But when market is high and when it is low, it can continue. It is a very typical thing that when a stock or market is in overbought, it can continue in overbought. And same when it's oversold, it can continue in oversold. You don't know exactly. Personally, I buy in 3 steps. That makes usually for a good bet. So if markets are starting to get oversold, I start to buy. I buy 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and hope to hit the bottom somewhere between these 3 purchases. Right now, as I said, market seems to be in somewhat balance, but if you look at the sell signals at Nasdaq, we can see that 40% sell signals is issued right now, meaning a lot of stocks are actually issuing sell signals, and there is a so-called unbalance between signals. Combine this, as I said, with being in overbought and all of this, I believe there should be a correction, but come again, markets may just push straight up to 30,000. It's only 10% left to 30,000, and why not shouldn't market just do it? Can do it instantly in just 2 weeks. Have seen that before, but I like to play it a bit safer. And about stocks, before getting to the $1,000 challenge, the stocks that I have been recommending before I had a break haven't performed very good. As I told you, if Tesla went under 370, I would buy. I did, and that turned out to be a very good choice because Tesla currently sitting at 443. And I will repeat myself, I believe Tesla will do insanely good in the future. They will come with all their robots, and the robots will take over a lot of functions in society and especially military, and I believe Tesla will be in the top queue. Then you have self-driving taxis, etc. I cannot see how Tesla should get hammered. What I'm hoping for is, because I didn't manage to buy all the stocks that I want, I hope market will get a very strong correction, hopefully a short one, and I will buy more Tesla. I want to get my average down. I got a good average now, 300 and some 50ish, but I believe there might be opportunity to get more. I am tempted to take some profit, haven't done it yet, from the last trade because I want to get back into Tesla. I was in Tesla on a double last time, sold out, now I rebought because I believe there will be another chance to almost do a double. But as I said, I hope for a short term. I also mentioned Nvidia. If Nvidia get down to 150, I will buy, but Nvidia never got that low. It got to 170 and then pushing upwards. Can say that I did a mistake, but I just tried to follow my own rules. It was, as I said, down to 174, currently $235, up 35%. So I lost a very nice profit. Was a little greedy there, because as I said, I did the same thing with Nvidia. I did almost a double in Nvidia. I bought Nvidia, sold at 208 and hoping to get back in a lower level because I said Nvidia for the long term is good. It's just way too high in my opinion now. I have to say, I have a strong feeling I will get my Nvidia at 150, but we will see who will be correct. Markets decide, not me. Chip bottle is just steady, not moving very much at $32. But Starbucks, also $106 for Starbucks, so that investment was super good as well. Slow but good, we like that. Lulu has not performed, it was up a little bit, but then down. American Airlines trade turning out to be a good one so far. First time I recommended was $14. I bought a little at 14. Later I bought a lot at $10. I got a very good average around 11.50. Currently 12.70. Dollar General is the one that has performed the worst, and I am in a loss in Dollar General. These stocks which I just mentioned are all stocks which I think will continue to do good. Until next time, I will for sure start to look at more stocks. Another stock which I've done 3 trades, and this is the 3rd trade which I just sold 2 days ago. IAVA Technologies went up from $14 to $21. I sold just over $20 after doing that is the 3rd trade in IAVA Technologies. $21 may still go very, very high, but as I said, I hope for a market. I have a lot of cash ready if markets do what they should do, have a correction downwards. Before getting to the $1,000 challenge, I will just try to tell what all of this means. I know one of the hardest things to do is sell. Buying is super easy. Most of you are not going to sell. You will not take the chance, but when it really starts to fall, then you will sell. What I'm saying is that there is a super high chance that market will have a correction. It will be totally natural, just like I said last time when it went down in January. The correction will be absolutely natural, absolutely. There's just the way it is. I think it will happen, and I think it might be as much as 10%. It will feel very, very bad, but I think you will do a mistake if you start panic selling. Anyway, if you panic sell, I will buy your shares, because I think it will go down. Can be, you never know about these things. Can go 23.8. It's so hard to say, but when it happens, I think market will have a huge sell-off because people will try to secure all profits. So it'll have these huge dips intraday, which you might see 3% down. By end of day, it's only like 1% down. So we'll have these typical classical highly volatile markets where you can do very nice trades if you're disciplined intraday, that is. But if you are not selling your stocks, I don't think there is any reason to panic, because the support between 21 and 24,000 is heavy. So it should take a lot of negative news for Nasdaq to break down below these levels. Has to be on huge magnitude. That is very hard to see. So there you have it. I believe it will be red market. I think there will be a natural correction. I think it will be a little longer one. It will be some heavy days, then just slower, where market will not return like they have lately. Lately it's been producing week after week. Nasdaq up 1.48% so far this week, and last week was even more. So it's been green weeks after green weeks, but I don't think that will continue. I think we'll head into some slow red weeks. And there is a saying, selling may go away. It's been around for years and years. We are already midway in May, but we will see. I think it will pick up somewhere around July, where markets again will start to get back on track, and the fall most likely will be very good. In the $1,000 challenge, NEO is still in the portfolio. It had a small run up. It fell down to 580. I thought it would turn around 610. Bid was 580 something low. Currently sitting at 625, making the $1,000 challenge $4,400. And I know it's a little boring, but I will stay in NEO also this week. NEO will come with some quarter results in next week, I believe. So we'll see then. Can of course make the stock move, but this stock has everything going for it, in my opinion. And if I'm correct, market will take a natural correction down. I believe NEO will do somewhat good during that period. So I would like to stay there, and then we will see. Okay, that's it. That's enough for today. I wish you the very best of trading week coming up. I hope that your portfolio will be much greener by the end of the week. Until we see you, bye.
Welcome to StockInvest.US Stock Analysis. We remind you that trading involves a high risk of losing money, and that you should speak with a financial advisor before buying or selling any securities. You should not base your investment decision upon StockInvest.US. By using the information you agree and are held liable for your own investment decisions.